director of the Courtney Medical Group, located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray, Pennsylvania. For more information or to make an appointment, call 724-942-3002. That's 724-942-3002 for Dennis J. Courtney, MD.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to AM Impact on Your Health. AM Impact on Your Health, where every day our goal is to have you learn at least one thing to help you live better and longer. AM Impact on Your Health, heard every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney, and I'm with you each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9. AM Impact on Your Health, where each day you'll find current medical news, knowledgeable guests, and fascinating health topics, and where we do encourage you to call in to join in. Today, ladies and gentlemen, it's very pleasant for me to bring to you something, well, I think it may be a first time. I say to you, it might be your first, well, it certainly won't be your last time here on our show, but I think you'll be seeing these holographic chips, that's right, transparent holographic chips, start to come into the marketplace, and you'll find them, I think they're going to be creeping up just everywhere. How they work, how do they work, is what we're going to be discussing today. What they're used for, how they're used, where you can get them, how you can begin. These are all topics today we're going to be discussing with an expert on this very subject. His name is Dr. David Potts. He's from Houston, Texas. He will be our featured guest today, not only today, but he'll also be our carryover guest for Friday. We're going to do part one of our show on the chip. I think it's such an important contribution. We're doing two shows back to back with Dr. David Potts. You want to be right there listening with us. You might want to also, too, excuse me, you may want to dial up the website for Ciara.com. It goes this way, www.drcourtney, D-R-C-O-U-R-T-N-E-Y, drcourtney.ciara, that's spelled C-I-E, second word, but of course right next to it, A-U-R-A.com, drcourtney.ciara.com, and you'll have a bunch of information at your disposal to sort of be able to read the text as we go along with a verbal and a visual here. I hope you enjoy our show today. Holographic chips, transparent holographic chips. What are they used for? How do they work? We'll be discussing it today. You'll want to stay tuned. After our first break, we'll get with Dr. David Potts. Now look, if in the course of our show today or on Friday you want to call in to ask a question, make a comment, the number as always will be 412-825-6262. That's 412-825-6262. I'll be listening for that knock on the door. Now, looking at our calendar and how it's shaping up. As I already mentioned, today, Dr. David Potts. Friday, Dr. David Potts. I think it's a two-show at least for a launch and a kickoff, and I'm very pleased to be able to bring it to you. Then come Monday, we're going to have Doug Inglesby here. He's a nutritional expert. He's going to be talking about the steps for a beating stress, which he calls the silent killer. So we're going to be dealing with nutritional items on Monday with Doug Inglesby. We'll fill in a lot of the other dates between now and the next thing I have on my agenda, which is Dr. Ed. Dr. Ed's come to town. I'm talking about Dr. Ed Conrad, ophthalmologist extraordinaire, homeopathic ophthalmologist, if you can believe. You all know him, Pittsburghers. You have certainly heard him on the show. He's coming back because most recently in December, came to town, had a treatment seminar out there at the Marriott out near the airport, and he was just overwhelmed with people who wanted to participate. They cut the number off at 12, and he already had 12, and so he said, I'll come back soon, and March will be when he returns. So we'll be talking to Dr. Ed Conrad on the 22nd. We'll be filling in other things, of course, between now and then, and hopefully you'll be there listening with us as we do our show alive and live each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. wanted to mention, and you'll be hearing in some of the spots upcoming. You'll be hearing Deborah Ray talk about Fruit of the Spirit. It's time to get either Debbie or Deanna or Dr. Peterson or, Dr. Young. It's a new name. You don't know him, but he's been certainly trialing Fruit of the Spirit for quite some time. This is this unique supplement in a liquid form. Tastes so doggone good. A combination of 14 biblical fruit purees combined with minerals, and we're going to find out the content of how many minerals. There was a phone call the other day asking me that. Minerals from the dead, alkaline minerals from the Dead Sea, and resveratrol. Combination of these three, you add them up, and the claim that's made and has been proved, 5 servings of fruits and vegetables in 1 ounce that taste so good. And I have been told, and I have reported to you, the problem seems to be you nipping at that bottle at other times during the day because the stuff tastes so good. The number, if you're interested in getting this thing at a much reduced price now, $29.95 as opposed to the $39 when we first launched it, the number is 800-442-3793. That's 800-442-3793. Really enjoyed my show with you the other day. It's now in the archives. You can go to it and listen to. I got many phone calls after the show. There's a lot of interest out there on the use of ECP. I spent some just extemporaneous time talking about this from what I had to say was anecdotal point of view, because the literature only reflects that the use of ECP, external counterpulsation, is for angina. And not only just for angina, only and if all the other cardiological interventions have been tried, like catheterization, stent placement, and bypass surgery. But of course, there's a way of getting around that. We don't want patients to necessarily have those invasive procedures. I know patients aren't particularly looking forward to any one of them, and you don't have to have any of them in order to qualify for ECP, which the indication appears to be in the literature, angina only. Now, I mentioned the other day, and I have told you, I have a file cabinet full of you want to call them anecdotal information, that's okay with me, whereby people who have other issues have been just unbelievably helped. That would be, and I'll mention them again to you, patients with advancing kidney disease on their way to dialysis, some who are even in dialysis but still have urinary function and kidney function. Those are people that can be helped. I would say that if you have visual issues, I have many patients tell me about how they're having vision acuity restored where they were losing it rapidly. I would say another thing would be peripheral neuropathy, where there is numbness of the extremities, lack of sensation, coldness in the extremities. These are also, in my experience, expectations that are realistic with respect to turning them around. Anyway, enjoyed the show. Got a couple of phone calls. Looking forward to anybody else who might have an interest in exploring the issue of ECP. Please give us a call here at the office. We'll get you scheduled in here to have a consult with me, and I'll learn from you and be quite honest with you as to whether or not I think you can be helped. Of course, in all these conditions that I'm talking about, there really isn't too much in the way of anything positive coming out of the conventional medical community. So I like non-invasive things. ECP, external counterpulsation, is in the archives now. Just go to the website at www.djc, that's me, djcmd.com. And on the opening page at the website, you'll see a little icon there, and it's marked Archives. Click on Archives, go to the date February 1st, 2010. There you'll find it, and you'll be able to listen to it over and over again and get a flavor from the time we spent on this on Monday. And when there are repeat shows coming up, I'll certainly play it for you. Okay, enough of the preliminary chit-chat. I am chomping at the bit to start to bring to you information about, here it comes, a phrase, transparent holographic chips. What the heck is that thing? What's it supposed to do for you? Well, we've got an expert here coming up, Dr. David Potts, who will be able to instruct you all in what they are and how to use them. And this is the place to get them. At least for now, I think you'll be able to get them on every street corner within the next 3 to 6 months. Anyway, we launch it here today. Ciara, wonderful company, transparent holographic chips. Be back in a moment.
This is Dennis J. Courtney, MD. Have you become confused about how best to manage your health? It's no wonder. It seems that every time you turn on the television or radio, another expert has yet another suggestion for you to follow that seems to be reasonable enough, but no matter how dutifully you follow the instruction, it just doesn't quite produce the results that you are looking for. If this confusion sounds familiar to you, give us a call at the Center for Complementary Health, where we'll make some sense of the confusion based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective alternative therapies.
Dennis J. Courtney, MD, is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002.
Want to help your family eat healthier? Instead of learning to disguise tofu in wondrous ways, how about some real nutritional power? If your family has the typical American palate for fries, pizza, and burgers, giving your family the blessing of good nutrition is a struggle. Fruit of the Spirit is the answer for your family's nutritional needs. Fruit of the Spirit is an all-natural, whole fruit puree made from fresh fruits native to the Holy Land with alkalizing minerals. Fruit of the Spirit was 5 years in the formulation, the work of a team of top nutritional experts with independent science to confirm its antioxidant power. 1 ounce a day provides the equivalent of 5 servings of fruits and minerals. Fruit of the Spirit is convenient, affordable, and delicious. Even your picky family will sing the praises of Fruit of the Spirit. Give your loved ones the blessing of good nutrition. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Fruit of the Spirit, a blessing for your good health. That's 1-800-442-3793. Call them now, 1-800-442-3793.
Hey, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to AM Impact on Your Health. Heard here in KHB 620 each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney with you live and alive on this Wednesday version of the show. And, hey, a long time forthcoming. We had every impediment going, seemingly trying to never allow this show to take place. Well, I want to say we've conquered all those issues. And we're here today, and we're here with an expert on something that I think Pittsburghers and Western Pennsylvanians are going to be very intrigued about. I think it's the first time. I think it's a major launch of something that you probably be hearing about quite a bit from other practitioners as time moves on. You just can't keep a good thing down. Here, this good thing by a unique company called Ciara. It's referred to as a transparent holographic chip. Hey, what the heck is that? Well, we have a guy who can answer those questions. He is an expert on these chips. He's an expert on the company. He's an expert on using them, and he is going to be talking about what they're used for, how you get them, where you put them. His name is Dr. David Potts, and we're lucky to have him with us today. Good morning, David, and thanks for coming aboard.
Good morning, Dennis. It's great to be aboard with you guys.
I'm glad you're here. You notice that drawl, folks, is that this gentleman's coming from, you are a Texan, purebred, are you not?
I am a Texan, yes.
Coming live from Houston, Texas. Dr. David Potts, tell us, as I always like to do when we're introducing an expert, tell us a bit about Dr. David Potts and your career up to this point, and then maybe how it has changed, because I think you're one of the most active guys right now with this new tool, a holographic chip, and fill in some details for us so we can know who Dr. David Potts really is.
Thank you, Dennis. Hey, I'm a chiropractor by trade. I've been a chiropractor for the last 19 years. I spent 10 years from 1994 to 2004 teaching at Texas Chiropractic College. So between teaching and between private practice, that has been the last 19 years of my life until I encountered COR. One of the physicians that I was working with, one of the DOs, had been sampled up with a COR chip, one for pain, for arthritic pain in his knee, some tendinitis in his elbow, and for a sleep chip. And these products work incredibly well for him. And with that, then I said, let me take a look at it. Let me see what it's all about. And I did, and I've been absolutely amazed with what these products are capable of doing. So I went along about 3 or 4 months playing around with the products, sampling out the products, and then I saw, I can reach out to a lot of people. I can change a lot of people's lives if I can get this product in people's hands. So for the last 5 months, or I guess the last 4 months, CR is what I'm doing full time.
Oh, you have left the chiropractic realm as a professional, and you are full time. I guess you're called a chipper, aren't you?
A chipper would be the proper term.
A full-time chipper with a pretty unique medical background that just recognized that you want to be able to help a lot more people than you could in your private practice. And I know that the company has used you as a spokesperson, and a very appropriate and adequate spokesperson you have been, to try to get that message out. And really thankful for you today to allow us to share in the message that you want to bring to them. Let me ask you this question, Dr. Potts. What the heck is a transparent holographic chip? What is that?
A holographic chip is just a media storage. It is something that has been around for years. It is something that you're starting to see Hollywood use to store stuff on. Your credit cards have a holographic chip on it. Very often your driver's license have a holographic chip on it. So if we look at the holographic chip and say, what is it? If you take the movie Titanic will not fit onto a DVD. It has to be put on 2 DVDs. The media storage that is available on a holographic chip, and it's a 3-dimensional chip, so it stores more information. You could put the movie Titanic on a chip 50 times. So all a holographic chip is just a media storage.
So these chips, which by the way are transparent, because I look at them, they sort of look like my kids used to get these tattoos in bubble gum and something, like you could lift them up and you could put them on your skin. And so when I think of the holographic chip, I can't help but make the identification between what in my old world were tattoos, but now there's some scientific evidence to show with that storage, some great things can happen by placing these chips. Talk more about this holographic chip that right now, I really identify with what you said about the Titanic not being able to be on one DVD, but that you say 50 times where it can be put, the Titanic could be put onto a chip. Evidently a large capacity for information, huh?
A very large capacity for information, and that's what's been able to make this available to work as well as it does, and because of the amount of information that has to be stored. We've never been able to do that until the holographic chip was utilized. And you're right, it does look like a scratch and sniff sticker,
That's a scratch and sniff sticker. It's another example. It's very deceptive. I mean, you would look at it and you would not be overly impressed by seeing one of these chips, but they evidently, well, tell me what that chip then, with all that information, can do for individuals who are chippies, right? You're a chipper, they're chippies.
They're chippies.
They're chippies.
Yeah, we first have to take a look at the body. There's over 4,000 years of medicine, of Eastern medicine, that has taken a look at the body more on a cellular level. We in Western medicine, the way I was trained, is that we look at systems. So, you have different systems of the body. You have the neurological system, the vascular system, and we address those systems. In Eastern medicine, they look at things on a cellular level. So they look and see what's happening on the cells, and if that's the building blocks of the body, that if they take care of the cells take care of the body. So taking a close look at that, in Western medicine for the last 100 years has been looking at vibrational medicine, which is consistent with Eastern medicine. For the last 25 years, there's been a great deal of science study, that has gone in and figured out what's happening on a cellular level. What occurs on a cellular level in our body. And what we know is we know that there's vibrations and frequencies and sound waves, and these cells are just little harmonic things just sitting there and vibrating. And that should normally be occurring. Now, we also know there's cellular intelligence. We know that cells have the ability to communicate with cells. So this communication goes from one cell to the next. If our body gets bombarded, through external factors, and we can lump a lot of things into external factors, as our cell phones and the magnetic fields will come into and stuff. But when things go on internally, so when we have things going on internally in our body, that also affects what's the normal vibrations and frequencies occurring on the cellular level. So when these cells get out of balance, that's very often when we start having symptoms, very often when disease starts to settle in. So once we were able to identify, once the science were able to identify what is the normal vibrations and frequencies, and we know cells communicate with cells, then the next question is, can we develop a product that has the ability to communicate with the cells of our body? Much like acupuncture, much like so many other Eastern medicines has done that, and communicates with the cells of the body. Ciora was able to take that scientific information, and they're able to program into those holograms. Like I said, you need something that can store a lot of information, and that's what these holograms do. They allow them to program intrinsic formulas into that hologram that then has the ability to communicate with the cells of the body and pull those cells back into the normal vibration frequencies. And then you have a healthy cell, and you eventually with a healthy body.
Now, that's a great explanation of the general concepts of how this chip, I guess I'm going to use the word, being impregnated with energy, okay, can change symptoms that you are experiencing by putting cells in harmony with one another. I think that would be one sentence to just sort of reduce what you just said. Would you agree with the sentence, by the way?
I think you summed it up very well.
Okay, so the company then has decided that there are three main symptoms that at least they're starting with. It looks to me like there could be an endless number of symptoms that they could end up with, but they're starting with three. Talk to us about the three major sets of symptoms that, at least for right now, these holographic chips are designed in order to help cells get in harmony for.
Currently we have three products, and the company does have many additional ones in research and development, and will be released, a lot of them in this upcoming year. But the three products we currently have is one's called Pure Energy.
Pure Energy.
And it's actually called Pure Energy Plus. Now this product, you take it and you place it on some acupuncture sites. So acupuncture sites is where the body's meridians, okay, and the meridians are kind of the energy pathway of the body, which is what acupuncture is based off of. When you place this over the acupuncture site, it has the ability to communicate with the body. So when we look at the Pure Energy product, we're talking about a product that when you put it on, it gives you a sustaining energy during the daytime. So you don't get that drop in the middle of the afternoon. You don't need the energy drinks. You don't need the caffeine. You don't need that false sense of security or false sense of energy that we very often get from caffeinated products. So it's a sustainable energy throughout the day, and it's a natural energy during the day. You're not going to notice being ramped up, but you're not going to get dropped. It's the plus part of that product that I really like. What we're finding is that not only do you have more energy, you also have a lot more mental focus and clarity with this product. So we have adults and we have kids that have been diagnosed with ADD. Yet when they use this product, okay, it enables them to get back that mental clarity, that mental focus that many of them have been able to get off of their medications. And that's big. I mean, that's very big when you have a product that's allowing people to get off some of their medications. It doesn't heal their problems, but it does allow them that mental focus. The second product we have is called Rest Quiet. And that's exactly what it is. It's a product that allows you to go into a much more restful state of sleep. It will not make you sleepy, but it will put you in a condition that is typically easier to go to sleep. Once you go to sleep, you get into delta, theta, and REM sleep. So this is the deep sleep. This is the reparative state of sleep. This is the state of sleep where you very often dream, or this is the state where you dream. So you'll notice with that product that your dreams will be a lot more vivid, but more importantly, this is where you get the restful sleep and the body repairs itself. There's no drowsy after effects from that, and it's absolutely incredible product. I mean, it's my favorite product. The third product we have out is a pure relief, and it's exactly what it is. It's relief from pain. Now, this product, when placed over the site of the pain, it gives either complete elimination of pain or it reduces the pain greatly. And it's all done with nothing going to the body. That's the most incredible thing about this product. It's non-transdermal, meaning that nothing enters into the body.
There's no substance that enters into the body. There's energies that do along these meridians that you mentioned that allow cells to be put in harmony, but there is no substance that is being transferred from this chip into the body system and moving about through the cardiovascular blood supplies, correct?
Correct. And you know, when you think about that, I mean, when you think about if there's nothing entering in the body, then that makes this product safe for everyone to use. And that's, to me, that's the big issue is that do we have a product that can be universally used by all? And it can be. I mean, we have people, we have young kids, days old that are using the sleep product. We have pregnant women. We have people with pacemakers and defibrillators. There is no contraindication to the usage of this product.
Outstanding. Now, you'd mentioned acupuncture. In my reading, and I think it may be an appropriate question to ask, acupuncture, and it has finally come into its own. It's even recognized by the conventional medical community, for the most part, without fully understanding what's meant by the use of acupuncture, but they just noticed it works. And I guess they had to finally relent, and they caved, and I've seen referrals move back and forth from conventional medical doctors to acupuncturists. But it's a very precise science. In fact, when placing those little needles along meridians and at certain acupuncture points, there's very little forgiveness with how accurate the acupuncturist really needs to be. Now, essentially, you're doing the same thing when you're applying these holographic chips, yet there's a much larger forgiveness factor. This isn't needlepoint precision. Explain to the listener why in using meridians and things like this, that they actually could be successful as a non-medical person, an untrained person, to get the benefit without having necessarily years worth of study behind them.
And that's the greatest thing about this product. When we look at what people want, people want a product that goes fast. People want a product that gives you almost immediate results. I mean, we're a society that the microwave doesn't go fast enough for us anymore. What we're seeing with this product is that it does. I mean, very often people get a positive response quicker than they than they would with a medication. And when you can do that with a natural product, that's pretty incredible. The other thing is people want convenience, and they want to be able to. A perfect example is the old HINGE units that I used to use. You had to dial in everything you wanted and change all the settings. The later ones just have where if you got shoulder, you put it on shoulder, and you hit the go button. That's basically what we have here. We have a product because that energy that is stored in that holographic chip, that when it gets into the body's magnetic field, it starts emitting this information to the cells of the body, almost like a beacon. Sending that out, and then the body picks that, the cells pick that up, and there's a communication occurring there. So these do not have to be specifically placed on top of meridians, because if it's within 2 inches of the body, it's activated, and it communicates at that level. So
that much forgiveness, huh? 2 inches.
Well, 2 inches away from the body. These products do not even have to touch the skin. So when you're 2 inches away from the bodies, and the body's electromagnetic field activates these chips, okay, it is communicating with the cells of the body. So when you talk about chip placement, and you're right, acupuncture has to be extremely specific, usually within 2 millimeters.
That's
or less.
really finite,
Yeah. These products can just be, in the ballpark, and it has the ability to get the same response.
Outstanding. Now, you had mentioned, by the way, I heard you say that of the 3 products now available, and there are plenty in the hopper that may be coming up in the near future above and beyond these 3, but you seem to like the one that provides rest and relaxation the most. Why so? And give us some examples of what made this take the #1 spot in your own use of the chips.
The rest one, my whole family does. I mean, my wife, I have 2 kids, 13 and 11. We all use the Rest Quiet product every night. The reason I like it so much is that I have a very short amount of time that I sleep. Especially as this company is going, and my days seem to be getting longer. And I'm able to use this product, and I didn't go to sleep last night till about 1 o'clock, might have been 1:30. Woke up this morning at 5:30, and woke up on my own, not because of the alarm. I still had more time I could have gone, but in that short amount of time, I'm able to compact a much more restful sleep, because usually we go into REM sleep maybe 3 or 4 times in a normal night. This gets you into that REM sleep very quickly and keeps you in that stage. So I'm able to function on a lot less sleep and do a lot better. And so that product, I think, really sets my day and allows me to get going. I like all 3 of the products. I don't have, but sleep is my favorite.
Well, it looks like it's your personal favorite. It's not as though maybe it's the responses you've seen, which I'm going to be asking about in a bit, in others, but because of your own personal situation, you and members of your family have come to really rely and trust this, and after all, not really taking any medication and getting I use the word quality sleep and invigorated activity the next day, because you got such a good night and restful sleep. You have probably decided well, doctor, for yourself and for your family. But we want to get into responses here in just a minute. Could we take a short break? And when we come back, let's talk about a couple things. One, first of all, does this product actually correct the diseases? Because I think we want to make a statement about that. We want to ask about how frequently we can expect individuals who use these. How often can this work? Does it not work in everybody? And some other things like that. Do you mind, Dr. Potts?
I'd be happy to.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a short break. We've got the expert with us today. You better believe. Sounds unbelievable to you? Hey, it's something that works. I can tell you. I can speak of my own personal experiences when I've applied these. We'll talk about chippers and chippies and how they've responded in the next segment of the show. Be right back with Dr. David Potts.
Dennis J. Courtney, MD. Have you become confused about how best to manage your health? It's no wonder. It seems that every time you turn on the television or radio, another expert has yet another suggestion for you to follow that seems to be reasonable enough, but no matter how dutifully you follow the instruction, it just doesn't quite produce the results that you are looking for. If this confusion sounds familiar to you, give us a call at the Center for Complementary Health, where we'll make some sense of the confusion based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective alternative therapies.
Dennis J. Courtney, MD, is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002.
Honey, just got the word. The company's new health plan has a $5,000 deductible. We have to make sure nobody gets sick this year. Remember what those doctor's visits cost for last year's colds and flu? Oh, sorry, I gotta go. Love you.
We can do this. We can cut the fast food lunches. Soda, that's a lot of sugar. We could all take that evening walk. And hey, I heard a program about fruit. Fruit of the spirit. What did they say? 1 ounce, the equivalent of 5 servings of fruits with herbs and minerals. We could add some to our breakfast protein shakes. Fruit of the Spirit is a unique whole fruit puree. Fruit of the Spirit contains fresh fruits native to the Holy Land and alkalizing minerals from the Dead Sea. With no added sugars, Fruit of the Spirit is a unique product from 5 years of work from science-based nutritional experts. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Fruit of the Spirit, a blessing for your good health. Fruit of the Spirit, convenient, affordable, and delicious. That's 1-800-442-3793. Call them now, 1-800-442-3793.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to AM Impact on Your Health, heard here on KHB 620, each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. Today we have launched, and I believe for the first time in the entire listening audience area, a new concept, a new product, a new way of getting relief from pretty doggone terrible symptoms. We mentioned pain and inability to sleep and lack of energy. Certainly 3 biggies in my practice as I see patients that come by me every day. And now the use of something you don't take it by mouth. Nothing gets into the bloodstream. They're transparent. They're holographic chips. And we're talking with an expert on the use of those chips, Dr. David Potts. We're at the second segment of the show today, trying to find out a little more about it and imparting that information to you. Dr. David Potts, you still with us?
Still with you.
Okay. The use of these chips. Now, I will tell you that when I first spoke to you, I just received the chips. I got many of them, and I hadn't had much use at that point. But now a couple of weeks have gone by, and I will say this: I've been startled almost to the point where I have to question. Maybe you can talk a bit about that. Did you question? I guess I want to put this to you. That was were these patients auto-suggestible? Because I had a first person I put this pain chip on had a shoulder pain. It was substantial, and I put the chip on. I didn't say anything about how quickly you could probably expect to experience some relief, and I turned away. And I'm going to say within 2 minutes, I was back, and I asked the question about the pain, which had now disappeared. Now, I was shocked. The patient was shocked. But I said to myself, geez, can I believe this? Is this really the way this works? And so I now ask you, talk to me about these chips. How frequently they work, how infrequently they don't work. Do they actually correct disorders and diseases, or we're just actually looking at symptom correction, which ain't bad, and how quickly they can actually produce these results? There's 3 questions in there. Did you hear them, Doc?
I think I got them all 3.
Okay.
If I don't address all 3 of them, just let me know.
I'll come back.
You know, the first thing is do they treat, cure, or heal anything? And the answer to that is no. I mean, we have a product, and we're very, very straightforward that is not going to heal any of your illnesses, any of your injuries. or anything like that. So it is a product that addresses the symptoms. You know, much like probably 80% of the products out there just address symptoms without truly, you know, healing anything. But if we have a natural way of doing that, if we have a product that can do that with nothing entering the body, with no side effects, then I think we have a very valuable product.
You better believe it.
The question is how fast do they work? And the answer is, you know, for everybody that's different. But we find that most people get results within an hour. I've had some people get results as quick as 20 seconds. I had a guy come in.
20 seconds.
I had a guy who came in.
You almost have to use a stopwatch for that, Doc.
You know, we gauged it by I was about a third way into telling him what I wanted to tell him, and he started moving his hand and said the pain's gone. So, I mean, I've seen some incredible results in the timing. Now, the product does not work for everybody, and not every time does it work. I mean, I'd love to be able to say that it does, but it doesn't. But we do notice three things. There are three critical factors in the effectiveness of this product. One is hydration. Because we're operating the cellular level, the more hydrated you are, the better it works. The other one is location. So we place it where we think that we need to, but we can move it around, and sometimes just moving it an inch one way or the other gives us better effectiveness. And the other one is duration. So some people will get results within minutes, seconds, and some people, it takes their body 3, 4, 5 days, you know, maybe a week or so before they get the results. But even with that, I mean, even when we think about a week out, there's many of the products that we take for symptoms that it takes a week before we get the results.
That is true. Absolutely true. So what would be, because you're a chipper now, and you've been doing it for quite a while. I have had, mere pittance of the number of patients that I've been able to work with. You probably have had an opportunity in your experience now to treat hundreds, if not maybe thousands of people. What's your breakdown? Percentage-wise, tell me what percentage of people don't respond?
You know, with the energy product and the sleep product, I probably have even a higher success rate than I do with the pain product. But if we class them all together, I say I'm probably 80-85% getting success rate with the product. When you think about Celebrex or arthritic type pain works about 50% of the time, I'll take that. Now that I educate my patients on the very get-go of how to get the maximum out of this product, I see that even increasing as time goes. I don't anticipate I'll ever get to 100%, but I'll take that 80 or 85%.
No, 80% isn't bad at all, Doc, especially when you're not using something that you ingest and could have side effects, even if it's non-pharmaceutical and if it's herbal and the like. Yeah, I'm in favor of the herbs over the drugs, but I'm in favor of not using any of the two if you can get such relief from using energy and meridians, which is a tried and true Oriental approach to all disease, not just the treatment of some symptoms that you appear, and this company appears to have struck it. I mean, this is a unique, it doesn't really exist from any other company, if I understand correctly. Is that true?
No, I think there may be other companies that are doing similar stuff. I can tell you that the technology that they're utilizing, in my opinion, exceeds where the other people are. So, you know, are there other companies doing it? There very well may be. But have we developed a product? Has CR put the research and development into a product that I think is the best out there? In my opinion, I think so. I mean, I think they have done that.
For those of you listening, excuse me, Doctor, I didn't want to interrupt. Go ahead, finish up.
No, that's good.
For those of you listening out there, I wanted to give you a way to sort of take it to another level. One way, of course, is if you are coming on in here to my office for a consult, I promise you, if you have any one of those three issues that are disturbing you, I'll be putting the chip on you right here, and you won't have to worry about trying to get in contact with the company in another way. If you're out there and you just have an interest now and you're saying, geez, I don't want to go in there and see Dr. Courtney. Maybe I wonder if I could do this on my own. I think, yeah, you could. And you need to go to a website, folks. www. I've given you this before. Let me give it to you again. www.drcourtney, D-R-C-O-U-R-T-N-E-Y, Dr. Courtney dot, this company's name, Ciaura, CIEAURA.com. That's drcourtney.ciara.com, and you'll read about the product and how you can get them on your own and not require seeing anybody. We're going to be instructive here both today and on Friday to make you and allow you to have a degree of success with your own self by talking about it, where these chips go, how you place them, and so on and so forth. And the bulk of that will be on Friday, but I just want to let you know now, you can get more information. You can actually get the product in your hands by going to drcourtney.ciara, CIEAURA.com, and I have recommended that you read about the site even before today's show, and now even more so. Please go ahead. Dr. Potts, I think that's the information that they may need in a large scale to respond, and if they have any one of those three problems going for themselves right now.
Let me follow up with that. Now that you've given that information out, let me follow up something, and I think this will kind of help some listeners to make the decision. Is this a product they want to give a try? You know, much like you, much like myself, we spend so much of our time trying to diagnose the cause of somebody's problem. You know, diagnose what it is that is producing these symptoms. The nice thing about this product, the greatest thing about this product is that there is no diagnosing involved. So we're not treating a diagnosis, we're not treating a condition, we're treating a symptom. And it's a symptom that is on the cellular level. So what I'm trying to say is that if somebody has arthritic pain in their knee, somebody has shoulder issues, somebody has a headache, an earache, a toothache, no matter what the cause of the problem is, on the cellular level, that's just pain. So because it's pain at the cellular level, we have a pain product that helps with the pain. So you can just place it over the side and use it without having to know the cause of it. Now, that does not take the place that if you have pain that is continuing, or if you have pain that is going on, then you need to address that with your physician. But if you would normally take an Advil product, if you would normally take a Tylenol, if you would normally do that type of thing, then you could safely go to your medicine cabinet and use this product.
Very well said. I'm glad you came in and gave some supporting additional information, because I think many out there who listen are doing just that right now. They have a conundrum worth of pain issues that they take some reliable product for, but for which there's going to be a price to pay. There are going to be consequences to taking these even over-the-counter drugs over time, and they more than likely, at least give yourself a chance, could be avoided in entirety if you had another way of getting relief. And what the heck? The holographic chip would have no consequence or side effect to them. You got to give them a try. www.drcourtney.ciara.com will get you started. And of course, we're going to be working with an advanced group of you on Friday, talking about where you put these and how you put them. It's going to be very instructive. Want to be able to help you out. We got some phone calls coming in, Doc. Do you mind taking some questions?
I'd be happy to.
All right, you are with Dr. David Potts. Go right ahead.
Hello?
Hello, go right ahead.
I have a question for your guest.
Yes.
And I don't know which particular unit would address the problem I have, but I was injured by a machine that uses, I guess, the premise of the mechanical machine is resonance frequency. And I was injured by the machine. Would one of your devices there help to, I guess, restore whatever that machine had done?
What are the main symptoms right now? The doctor would probably ask you, what symptoms do you perceive that you're experiencing as a result of that injury? And that's probably going to help him let you know what product to use. What do you experience?
Headaches, chronic constipation. I think you remember Dr. Courtney.
Oh, yeah, but I wanted to help the doctor.
Still battling it. It's somewhat eased up, but I have suffered and still do from chronic constipation and even problems with the autonomic, especially the autonomic nervous system. It kind of, I guess, trip my system, my nervous system, and I can't go back to the way that I was before. I had 4 treatments in this light vessel, and I'm trying to get back to some sort of equilibrium.
You certainly
what kind
are.
of information can you help with?
Well, I think, Doctor, now hearing some of the symptoms might be the headaches. I think you absolutely can respond to. I don't know about the constipation. Go ahead, Doc.
Let me address that real quick because one of the physicians that I work with had the same problem. Okay, I mean was at a seminar, was involved with very similar product, and he had some long-term symptoms with that. When he started using the energy chip, because we talk about the energy chip is giving you this sustained energy, but the other thing it does is it helps the body to balance out. It helps the body to balance out. When he started using the energy product, many of the symptoms he had got better. Okay. Now, does that mean that this chip is going to do that for you? We don't know. I mean, we don't know how the body reacts. What we do know about these products is we can measure when we put them on you. We can measure, is the chip doing what the chip's intended to do? And we measure that. What we don't know is we don't know how your individual body reacts to that change. That's why in some people we get remarkable changes and some people we get minimal, because it's dependent upon how your body utilizes that.
Okay, great.
So what holograph would it be? Because you have different ones.
The energy one.
The energy.
I would probably use the energy one to help balance out the body. You could utilize the pain one to help you with the symptoms of the pain.
Okay.
2 of them. Okay.
You can come on in and we'll get you on the starter set for any one of the chips, or go onto the website and you can do this on your own, especially after listening to the show on Friday, okay?
And how long do you keep them on your,
good question. Go ahead.
We say the products are good for 2 to 3 days. So, I mean, when you get them on supply, they give you 18 chips, but 2 to 3 days, and you can leave them on for 2 to 3 days. The product we do take off, during the daytime, and you put it back on at nighttime. But each of these products is good for 2 to 3 days of usage.
Outstanding question, and thank you so much. And hey, I hope you get some relief because I know you're out there searching. Okay? All right, she must be gone. Great question. I know this individual personally, and he's really had a rough go after something called an energy vessel, and she's been searching high and low to get some relief. I hope this helps her. We got more knocks at the door. Go ahead, doctor. You were saying?
With all kinds of symptoms are possible.
Yeah. I don't know. We sort of lost you just for a second. I don't know if you got unplugged or whatever. You're loud and clear right now. We got more questions as we move up to what I call the gong. Go ahead. Next up in the store, you're with Dr. David Potts. Go right ahead. Hello? Okay. Next up, anybody else out there? Come on, you're with Dr. David Potts. Go right ahead. Okay. Maybe we discouraged you. Please, if you want to try back. We are coming up about 4 or 5 minutes left, so you still have a chance to get in here. 412-825-6262 to talk to the expert on the transparent holographic chip made by this company called Ciara, and certainly in practice used by Dr. David Potts for quite some time, and getting the responses that have just been unbelievable. I've seen them in the pain realm, and interesting to find out, in my own case, how well they're going to work for those other 2 problems, Doctor. As we get to pretty much coming to the end point of this show, and knowing that we're going to be together on Friday, ladies and gentlemen, if you're thinking about doing this on your own, I want to help you, and we're going to be talking about placement for the various, how the 3 chips work, and how you would place them if you had a mind to do this on your own. And so there's going to be part 2 with Dr. David Potts on Friday. Dr. Dave, whenever, as we get to the end of the show, how do you want to leave this one today? What final messages do you want to get across to these patients? Or these listeners?
That's interesting. I mean, that's kind of the lead into the next one. I mean, we could cover all kinds of people that I know that have had some success with this product. And so, I talked about earlier kind of what's in my medicine cabinet. But we have people that are utilizing this product post-surgical without having to take the medications post-surgical. We had a great case last night with a doctor that had some foot surgery done and used it post-surgical with some incredible results. So when we talk about the pain, it's not only for that everyday pain, it's also under the supervision of your physician. You may use it during that acute stage of pain and not have to take the strong medications.
That's a pretty good testimonial coming from a physician who had a surgery and then required little to none in the way of medication. Got another knock at the door here coming up to the end in the gun lap. Go right ahead. You're with Dr. David Potts. Go ahead.
Yes, so what is the mechanism of transference of the so-called energy from the chip to the body? What is the...
I think I remembered that one. Go ahead, Doc. Want to take another whack?
I mean, that's where it gets a little more complicated to understand. Now, programmed into this is the formulas, okay? So this chip does not vibrate. There's no vibration occurring on the chip level. What it has the ability to do is communicate with the cells of the body. So there's a formula type thing, and that we have to just kind of trust at this point because I don't have a pocket protector. I don't completely understand the science.
Well, I mean, is it the radio waves? What is it?
No, there's no waves leaving this chip, and I know that sounds crazy, but there's everything out there. Everything in this world has vibratory characteristics. Everything shakes, moves. I mean, rocks, stones, everything. Okay, and our cells pick up on that and respond to that. Much like music and the waves off of a music can affect the way you feel. So, I mean, programmed in this is the formula to do that. Real quickly, let's put it this way. If I had a fax machine and I feed in a picture and text on the fax machine, and I send that to another fax machine, it converts over to a different language as it's going across that telephone line or across those airwaves. What is programmed into these chips, the cells on the other side of the body recognize that and picks that up, and then produces on the other side what would be that picture or that text.
All right. Hey, gonna have to leave it there. Great question, great answer. I like the analogy, Doctor. Bongos have sounded. It's time to get on out of here. We're going to be back with Dr. David Potts on Friday, talking about part 2 and how you actually put these chips and where you put them. Talk to you then. Until then, this is Dr. Dennis Courtney with Dr. David Potts saying so long for AM Impact on Your Health.
AM Impact on Your Health is sponsored by Dennis J. Courtney, MD, Director of the Courtney Medical Group, located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray, Pennsylvania. For more information or to make an appointment, call 724-942-3002. That's 724